Police attend training seminars throughout the year, but it's not everyday officers get detailed training from the FBI. Hello there, I'm Charlie Haldeman. Stephanie Berletic joins us now with more on what some local officers learned. Stephanie?
The Durant Police Department hosted the FBI National Academy Alumni Association training seminar at the Choctaw Inn. Officers from Durant and several other local departments attended the meeting. Major Rick Adams of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is also vice president of the FBI Alumni Association and says it's an exciting opportunity for officers to get to see how other departments handle investigations. Today's speaker, Agent Ray London, was an investigator on the famous BTK murder case. London talked to the men about how his department handled the leads, forensics, and psychology of the investigation. Major Adams says learning new techniques is a part of the job.
And as law enforcement officers, we cannot continue to live in the past. So we have to change with the times and learn to use the techniques of today and do everything we can to try to improve our skills and hone our skills in law enforcement so that we can protect the public.
Over 40 officers attended today's event, and Durant Police Chief Gary Ruddick says it was an honor to host the training, which he says raises the professional standards for law enforcement. Stephanie Berletic, First News.
There was a special guest today at the Grayson County Republican Women's Club meeting. Secretary of State Roger Williams was there to help get a grassroots voting campaign off the ground. Williams says it's important for everyone to vote, regardless of what your party is. But he says the women are strong voters, and they're good at spreading the word and encouraging other people to vote. Williams says Texans are known for strong opinions. They just have to make sure to express them at the polls. Well, what some might think of as dull political talk too early in the morning turned out to be anything but today in Marshall County. State Representative Terry Hyman and State Senator J. Paul Gum were on hand to update constituents on the current legislative session as well as field questions. And one topic that was just as hot as that biscuits and gravy you saw there, the Point Vista land deal. In particular, the state agency tasked with closing that deal.
They have bungled, mismanaged, and goofed this thing up. I have been misled time and again when they've been in my office talking to me. They don't, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing with the CLO.
We'll have much more on this morning's session tonight on First News at 6. A community comes together to honor a hero in Tishomingo this morning. Practically the entire town were along the streets to watch the spectacle and honor a local legend. It is new tonight at 5. Robin Beal joins us with more.
Well, if you happen to drive through Tishomingo today and you're worried that maybe your eyes were playing tricks on you, don't be. That was an F-111 fighter jet you saw rolling down the main street. It was part of a carefully orchestrated moving day. The plane is one that was flown by a local boy, Smokey Tolbert. He was a decorated Navy pilot who flew with the Blue Angels, even served in Vietnam, and was shot down not once, not twice, but 3 times. That third time, sadly, would be the last time he flew, as far as anyone knows. Today's ceremony served a practical purpose as well. They needed to get the plane from the campus of Murray State College to the memorial, where it will now be located permanently. Family members said it was an honor.
Well, I'm very humble. A great deal of appreciation for the assistance we've had from the community and whatnot to relocate this aircraft, and the fact that we just remember.
And Mr. Tolbert told me that people remembering, well, that's the most important thing to him. In Ardmore, Robin Beal, First News.
Authorities in Fadden County are looking for a group responsible for vandalizing several churches in Ravenna. City officials say it happened late last night at the Christian Church and Ravenna Baptist Church along FM 1753. Several satanic symbols and phrases were spray painted on. Church members spent most of the morning cleaning up the mess. They say they're shocked something like this would happen in their community.
Well, I didn't appreciate it, and I thought it was, wasn't the right thing for somebody to not have any more regard for somebody else's property.
So far, no arrests have been made. A Dallas man has been sentenced to 40 years in prison by a Grayson County judge. 36-year-old Eric Cheeks was pulled over in October of 2006 along Highway 75 in Denison. Inside the car, authorities say they found almost 4 grams of cocaine. Assistant District Attorney Brett Smith says Cheeks will serve at least 10 years before he is eligible for parole. He will be held at a Texas Department of Criminal Justice facility. Governor Brad Henry has signed a new law into important new bill into law that closes a loophole in the state's Peeping Tom law. The legislature passed that bill to outlaw the taking of photographs of a person's private areas while in a public place. That decision comes after charges were dismissed against a man who had taken photos under the skirt of a 16-year-old girl inside a store in Tulsa. An Austin lawyer who was sentenced to 90 days in jail has been freed pending appeal. On Tuesday, Adam Raposa was found guilty of contempt for making a sexual gesture at a Travis County court-at-law judge, Jan Breland. The lewd gesture came during plea negotiations in a drunk driving case. Raposa spent about 8 hours in a Travis County jail before the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals ordered him released on his own recognizance. In San Angelo, the custody fight over hundreds of children from a polygamist sect continued for a second day. The state argues the children were being abused or were in danger while their parents want them back. The state claims girls have been married off as minors, some of them having babies with much older men by the time they're 13. Child welfare officials argue that all the children are in danger of being abused, but attorneys for the sect say the kids belong at home.
Do you think they're getting good treatment, sir?
Not like at home.
In what way?
In every way.
Nearly 400 lawyers are involved in that case. It'll be up to the judge to decide whether those children should return to life at the compound. In the Midwest today, a strong earthquake hit early this morning, and all day long, residents have been feeling aftershocks. The quake's center was 6 miles outside of the town of West Salem in Illinois, but it was felt in Milwaukee, Chicago, even as far away as Atlanta. Besides some rattled nerves, there are no injuries, not much damage left behind by the 5.2 magnitude earthquake. Officials across the state are inspecting dozens of bridges and parking decks. At this point, they're not finding any signs of problems. How about going shopping for free? It's not a dream. We'll tell you about it a little later in the broadcast. And the NBA owners vote on Oklahoma City's basketball future. The results later in sports. A clear sky right now. How long will that hold, though? Steve's weekend forecast is next.
Coming up, a wealthy aquarium reels in